What is going on? What's going on, y'all? Happy Thursday. Let me pin this comment. Let me post it and then pin it so you know what we are talking about today. Y'all come on in the room. Come on in the room. I got some things to talk about today. I have some things to talk about today. Come on in the room. What's going on, everybody coming in? We're going to get started in about 2 minutes at 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm going to give my people some time to come in the room. How are y'all feeling today? How are y'all feeling today? Yes, I'm feeling great. Feeling good, feeling great. How are y'all? How are y'all? Let me let my people know I'm live so y'all can come on in the room. How y'all Thursday been? Hey, everyone coming in. What's going on? What is going on? What's happening? What is going on, guys? We are about to get started here. We are about to get started. Hey, everyone coming in. What's going on? We about to get it. We about to get started in about 30 seconds. What's going on? Let's go ahead. What is happening, everybody? What is going on? Tatiani Favors here, your tax business coach. And welcome to another session of hashtag TBTT, Tax Boss Talk Thursdays. Okay, we're each and every Thursday right here on Instagram at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We talk everything tax business related. Okay, for those of you all who do not know me, like I said, I'm Tatiani Favors, your tax business coach. And I am a business coach for mainly tax professionals, okay? I help develop business owners out of people who want to start, build, and scale a profitable tax business. And I've been working in the coaching space for the past 8 years, but I have been a part of the taxation industry for the past 18 years, okay? So I know a lot about this industry. Now, like I said, each and every Thursday we get together here to talk tax business topics. And I actually had a different topic planned to talk about today. But let me tell y'all what happened to me today and what led up to this. What led up to this topic. So, of course, I'm on multiple social media platforms. As you can see, I'm on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. And we know that Facebook has Facebook groups, of course. And, of course, I'm a part of a lot of, probably too many tax-related Facebook groups, right? And so every now and then, or maybe not even every now and then, but pretty often or whatnot, I participate in conversation with these Facebook groups. I add value. If people ask questions, and I have the answer, I'll answer the questions, because y'all know how Facebook groups go. Someone posts a question and multiple people answer. Multiple people just give their value, give their feedback, right? In this one group, though, I'm not going to say what the group is, what the name of the group is. But this one group, just like any other day, I'm in the group, saw a question pop up. And guess what the question was, y'all? The question was, it was questions regarding the difference between a tax preparer and a tax business owner. Now, that is my jam. That is my lane. Like I told y'all can hear it in the introduction. I develop individuals into business owners by helping them start, build, and scale profitable tax businesses. That's what I do. So, of course, I'm going to answer these questions. You get what I'm saying? Of course, I'm going to see what the questions the people have so I can give value, because that's what I'm here for. I'm a teacher. This is what I do. I have students, like, I give game for free. That's why I show up here for free every Thursdays and sometimes more, to just teach y'all, because that is my purpose right now, is to elevate others in this manner. And so, boom, people are asking questions. I get to answering them because I'm in my lane. Like, I'm vibing out. I'm just giving value. So then the moderator comes, right? The moderator comes and is like, we're not looking for answers to the questions because we have an upcoming panel coming up, and proceeds to, like, delete all of my responses, deletes all of my, all of the questions that I answered. And I was just like, all right. And in this particular group, I've always been a little, because it's just, y'all don't never hear me in this bag, so y'all are getting a rare Tatiani today. Let me just say this. I stay in my lane because I'm very good in my lane. I have made a path in this lane, and I would like to think I was one of the pioneers of this lane because I've been doing it for so long. And now being a tax business coach or whatnot is popular, especially after the pandemic, when people lost their jobs. All of these tax gurus who want to teach people how to start a tax business in 30 days and all that other mess. Like, I'm now in competition with all of those people who give false information and all of that. That's something that I've never stood on. That's something that I've always been against. I teach from experience, not theory. And I've been doing this ever since I've been on social media. If you have the time, scroll all the way back down to 2016. Like I said, I've been in this industry for 18 years, been functioning as a coach for the past 8 years. I don't sell teas, waist trainers. I don't do insurance. I'm in the taxation industry. That's what I do. I didn't start when the pandemic started. I didn't do none of that, right? So I have a passion for this, and this is actually my purpose, to teach. I didn't choose this. I never would have chosen to be a leader and teach other people, because when I was younger, I claimed that I didn't even really like people like that to be teaching y'all stuff, right? Like, I just thought when I had my tax business that I was going to have a very successful tax and accounting business, right? I never had plans on becoming a business coach. I didn't even know what that was. Like, back in the day when I first started my tax business, there were no such things as business coaches. Because if it was, I probably would have tried to seek one, because I definitely struggled before I had to figure it out myself. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say, when you have these Facebook groups, I would think, as a person who actually genuinely likes to give value to other people, if someone asks a question in your group, because I host groups on Facebook, right? I have groups that I created on Facebook, free groups, paid for groups and free groups. But let's just talk about the free group. Somebody would ask a question and other people would answer. Okay, other people would answer. I may agree or disagree with what other people answers the question with, but I never delete their answer. I just answer in my way, correcting everyone who's responded. You get what I'm saying? And so the fact that if the goal is to genuinely help people with their tax business and growing and starting their tax business, then why wouldn't you leave certain remarks posted? Why would you go and delete them? You get what I'm saying? Because you have a panel coming up, so they can only learn from you. And my answers were A1, because this is what I do. I mean, I have an entire online school teaching people, aspiring tax professionals, how to start, build, and scale profitable tax businesses. So my answers were A1. But I will also tell you all this, something that you probably didn't know, whether you've been following me for a while or you're new to me. A lot of my peers in this industry love to disagree with my methods of teaching and how I teach because it doesn't sound like everyone else's. Why doesn't it sound like everyone else's? Because half that shit don't work anyway. Like, I'm just gonna be completely honest with y'all. That mess that they be teaching y'all, it don't work. It don't work. They just really good at, gathering people and showing their lifestyles or whatnot. But I've never been interested in that. I'd rather give you information that you can use, that you can implement, and that you can actually get results from than show you the car that I drive, where I live, the bag that I just bought, this, that, all of that. Like, that doesn't mean that I know how to run a profitable tax business. That just means that I know how to spend money. You get what I'm saying? When you see lifestyle, not going after anyone, but I'm just saying the difference between other people in this industry and myself. So yes, I'm coming a little spicy today because if the goal is to help people, then let's help the people. You don't have to delete my responses. And side note, I know they screenshotted my responses because they was A1. Like, come on. So I say that to say I initially had a totally different topic to talk to y'all about today, right? But since that happened, I was like, I go live tonight for Tax Boss Talk Thursdays. I have my own platform, so let me answer those questions on my platform because the questions were actually good. And the questions weren't new to me because people ask me questions very similar to these questions, if not these exact questions, all of the time. You get what I'm saying? So I know that you all will find value in these questions. And that's why I'm deciding to answer these questions on my own platform, because there are actual questions that need to be answered. You don't have to pay for a panel for me to ask and, answer these questions or whatnot. You can get them right here for free because this is a Q&A also. So it's about 4 or 5 questions that I'm going to answer. And then if you all have any questions, definitely feel free to ask me any questions. Either in the comments or there's a question bubble down at the bottom with a question mark in it. So let me make sure that I'm not missing any questions. Okay. So I'm going to go through the questions first that was asked in the Facebook group that got deleted. Okay. So the first question is, what software? I probably need to put on my glasses, since I'm reading stuff. Let me pretend like I can shoot. I ain't playing because I be needing my glasses. Okay, so question number 1. What software or systems will I need to make sure I'm being smart with my time? What software or systems will I need to make sure I'm being smart with my time? Now, I get variations of this question. I'm going to read it again. Okay, I'm going to read it again. What software or systems will I need to make sure I'm being smart with my time? So I get this question a lot, or something similar to this question. And the question is typically this or something similar to, what software or system should I use? And my response is always, it really just depends on the type of tax business that you want and or have, right? Because all software are treated differently, okay? And all of them have benefits and all bells and whistles that may or may not align with what you see as the trajectory of your tax business. So I always say, before you implement systems, because systems is a very trendy word, but people don't utilize it properly in order to see the benefits from it. So I'm going to talk about both separately for a second, systems and software. So let's start with software. First of all, software, whether we're talking tax prep software or just other softwares, CRMs that will help you run your business, and with systems, you as the business owner, as the CEO of your tax business, you have to make some decisions first. You have to get clarity on the type of tax business you want. What do I mean by the type of tax business? Do you want a mobile tax service? Do you want a virtual tax service? Do you want a brick and mortar, which is a physical location? What type of tax business do you want? Okay. And then what's your ultimate goal? Okay. What's the trajectory of your tax business? Where are you trying to take it? Do you just want one super successful location, or do you want to dominate the virtual space? Do you want to start a franchise? Do you want multiple locations? Like, where are you going? Only you can identify that. A system can't do that for you. ChatGPT can't do that for you. Only you can identify where you want your tax business to go. What's up, everyone coming in? Only you can identify that. So it doesn't matter what systems or software you have. It can't tell you where you want to take your tax business, because only you know the type of lifestyle you want to live. Okay. Only you know what you want to accomplish in your life and what your goals are. So you have to identify that when it comes to your business and get that clarity on where you're going. Once you are clear, and I'm not saying you have to know everything, because we never know everything in the beginning, right? It tends to unfold. But if you are clear on what the end goal is and what you're striving for, then you go searching for software and systems that are in alignment with what your vision is. Okay, so don't find the software and the systems first before you are clear on where you want to go, because you're going to end up wasting money, getting overwhelmed, getting frustrated, and maybe even ultimately quitting. Okay, and that's what we don't want. We don't want you to quit. We want to decrease overwhelm as much as possible. Okay, but excuse me. So you have to do some work yourself. I know this is like an instantaneous type of land and time where everyone wants instant gratification. Everyone wants instant results. You want your bank account to be instantly 6 and 7 figures. But as the CEO of your company, you must make some decisions first and then search for the things that will complement and propel that vision that you have. Okay. Let me give you an example. So if we're talking tax software, so let's give an example of a tax software. There are many different types of software companies, tax software companies, right? And in Tax Boss Academy, which is my online school where I teach both aspiring and existing tax professionals how to start, build, and scale a profitable tax business, we dig deep into everything. But before I have them pick a software, there are some things that they have to do, which I mentioned to you all just now, just having that clarity on the type of tax business that you want. And then creating or identifying what you want your software to do in order to be able to propel your tax business to where you want to go or where you ultimately want it to be. So for instance, I love Drake. Right. I was introduced to Drake back in 2009, 2008. You get what I'm saying? I love Drake. I love Drake for business purposes, for business tax returns. So 1120s, 1120Ss, 1065s, nonprofits, because it's very detailed. You can get very detailed with Drake. I love Drake, right? But for the partner program that I was running in my business, I needed a software that was for high volume tax offices, and that allowed me to see all of my locations in one place. Okay. I had about 23 locations. I needed to be able to see all of my locations, which all of them had separate EFINs, in one location on one laptop or one computer, right? Drake at the time, and I still don't think that they can do it, but at the time, at my prime of using Drake, they didn't have that capability. They didn't offer a capability to be able to monitor multiple offices in one place. That just wasn't that software strength. But Crosslink did. Crosslink actually specializes in high volume tax offices, and they also had Bianca, and they also had because they specialize in high volume tax offices, they had an interface where I could see all of my locations in one place, right? So I made the switch to Crosslink for that aspect of my business. So I told y'all that story to show you that I favored Drake for one thing, but I used Crosslink. I end up going to Crosslink because it worked better with my business model and with where I was going. Okay, so that's why you have to understand or have a level of clarity of the trajectory of your tax business, what your ultimate goal is, and then go find the software that's in alignment with that vision. Okay, systems don't create your business. Only you can create your business. And once you create your business, then you find the proper systems and you implement the proper systems and SOPs in order to accomplish that vision. Okay, so that is the answer to that. Also, Coach, what's going on? If y'all have any questions, tap in. Okay. Question number 2. How do you go from being a tax preparer to a tax business owner? How do you go from being a tax preparer to a tax business owner? Because I'm a little hungry and I don't want to be here for 3 hours. You see my hang time? You did. We out here. But no, before, I don't want to be here for 3 hours because this is like my absolute favorite question. The question is, how do you actually go from being a tax preparer to a tax business owner? And my response to that is it starts with your mindset. Okay? It starts with your mindset. Can I sit up here and give you a whole list of things to do? Of course I can, for sure. But that to-do list is so overwhelming and so anxiety driven that even if I was to give it to you and you don't have the proper mindset, you're not going to implement what's on this list to even get the results that you want. So it starts with your mindset. You have to approach your tax business with a CEO mindset versus a worker bee mindset. Okay, how do I know this? Because when I first started, I approached my tax business with a worker bee mindset. And then I evolved from there and I had to look at it from a CEO mindset. What's the difference? First of all, y'all probably have heard this comparison before, but it's the difference between working on your business versus working in your business. If you have a worker bee mindset, then you yourself are preparing the taxes. You yourself are actually delivering the services that you offer. And so you're working in your business. It is very, 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 very difficult to try to work on your business and in your business at the same time. Trust me, I tried for like 2 years because I thought I was Superwoman and I thought I could do everything myself. And I failed for it took me like 2 years because I was hard-headed. I'm like, no, I can do it. And I finally realized that it is almost impossible to work in your business and on your business at the same time. Why? Because those are two different skill sets. By the time you get finished, say it's tax season and you are knee deep in tax returns, right? By the time you get finished preparing umpteen taxes for that day, the energy that you need in order to think about how to grow your business, you're zapped of that energy. That takes creativity. That takes market research for you to approach your tax business with a CEO mindset and to think about when I say CEO mindset, the job description of a CEO is a person who is in charge of figuring out how this business is going to grow, how we're going to sustain this business, how we're going to meet our goals, our financial goals, our whatever goals. Like, how are we going to be progressive in this business? It is the CEO's responsibility to make sure that the business moves forward, is progressive. There's a difference between being busy, aka worker bee. You're busy preparing taxes, but is that progressive? That might be a little bit progressive for your bank account to an extent, but even if you are working in your business, your money is capped. Your money is capped. Why is your money capped? Because you're only one person. That means you can only prepare so many tax returns. You can only stay up for so many hours, okay, before you have to go to sleep or you crash. And don't have a job, okay? Don't have a job that you have to go to, and don't have kids that you have to take care of, and don't have a spouse or that you have, or taking care of your, you know what I'm saying? Life happens. We have to split our time. So your money is capped if you are a worker bee, even in your own business, because you can only prepare so many taxes, right? And so when your energy is zapped like that because you spend all day working in your business, then now when it's time to do the CEO things, which is thinking big, thinking outside of the box, thinking how you're going to grow this business, thinking how you're going to get new clientele, thinking of new marketing campaigns, thinking of who you need to hire or whatnot, all of that takes brain power. All of that takes creativity. How will you separate yourself from all of the other tax businesses? That takes a different level of skill. And if you don't have the mindset to make that shift, then you will always be a tax preparer and you will never make that jump over to be a tax business owner, to be a business owner. So I teach my students how to approach your tax business with a CEO mindset. Why? Because like I said, when I first started, I didn't have, there were no business coaches back then. Okay, there were no business coaches back then, let me tell you. But I approached it. I'm like, I know how to prepare taxes. I know how to do accounting or bookkeeping. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start a business, and that's what I'm going to do because I know how to provide that service. But from the beginning, I set myself up for the okie doke because I put myself in a position, and this is what a lot of you all are doing. You're putting yourself in a position where you are the business, You think you're a boss, you think you running stuff, but you are the business. You're more so self-employed than being a business owner. And there's nothing wrong with being self-employed. Okay. But it's a difference between being self-employed and being a business owner. In a nutshell, let me tell you what the difference is. If you are self-employed, that means you still have to show up to make money. If you do not show up and prepare a tax return, then you do not get paid. Then money does not get made. Then your business is not functioning. But if you are a business owner, that means that your business can function without you being there. It can function in your absence, right? That's what being a business owner means. So you can be sick, you could be skydiving, you can be on vacation. And if you are a business owner, you have the proper systems, the proper team, the proper automations in place that your business continues to generate revenue even in your absence. That is an actual business owner. Y'all want to know how many tax returns I did this past year? This past tax season, and it's been like that for a few years. I can count on one hand how many tax returns I actually did. And most of these fingers, like my mom, and then most of the taxes I prepare are people who don't even pay me anyway, like my mom, my dad. You know what I'm saying? They're like, no, I want you to do it. I don't want you to give it to your dad. I want you to do it. Whatever. And I go ahead and do it. But when I first started, did I think that was a possibility? No. But I had to make a mindset shift to say, you know what? I love this industry. I want to stay in this industry, but I want to elevate my role in my business. So I have a whole business partner and he handles the tax preparation side of the game. Like, I don't see no taxes. I just get a percentage. And that's what I opted for because my passion and my purpose led me the coaching way. God had been telling me year after year to coaching. And I'm like, no, I don't like people. I don't want to teach people what I'm going to teach them. Like, and then here I am. And now I love y'all. Sunset heart hands. You get what I'm saying? So, like, now I'm more in the coaching space. I will much rather another CEO mindset tidbit is now, because it wasn't always like this. My mom wasn't always like this. But nowadays, I'd rather get a percentage of something I never have to see than to get 100% of something that I actually have to touch. You get what I'm saying? Back in the day, oh no, I wanted 100% of it, but that meant I had to do it myself. Now, if the percentage is right, oh, I don't have to see it. I will take a less percentage if I don't have to touch it. If I don't have to spend time on it and I can just invest in it or build it up or do whatever it is that I need to do for my percentage, all day. Because there are different levels when you are in this industry. The first level is, okay, you get in this industry, it's all about the money. Okay, it's all about the money and getting clients. You want to get more clients so you can get more money, right? And so it's all about the money. When you get the money, then it turns into, you know what? I'm making money now, but I want my time back. Like, how I get my time back? You get what I'm saying? So time starts to trump money. And then once you get your time back, so now you're making money, now you have your time, then you get to a point where it's like, well, how do I make an impact? Like, what do I do with this time now? How do I make an impact? How do I start? You just start asking yourself other things. So there are different levels to this. And it doesn't matter what level you're at. I just want you to know what your future entails if you stay in this industry and you're successful, that it's not always going to be about the money. And then it's not always going to be about the time. And then it's not always going to be about the impact. It's always a level that you can grow. So to answer the question, how do you go from tax preparer to business owner? It's a mindset shift. It is a mindset shift. That's what I can tell you. So start working on your mind. Start understanding that you can own a profitable tax business without you actually having to be the one preparing the taxes. It can happen. That's exactly what I teach people in Tax Boss Academy. Like, easy. That's nothing. That's easy. It's just everyone on social media has probably tainted your mind so crazy that you think you're not a boss if you're not busy all day. You think you're not a boss if you're not knee deep in tax returns. I actually used to think that. But no, you're actually more of a boss when you aren't. Every tax day, and I did a live on tax day, and if you're on my email list, look on April 18th, because this year the tax day was April 18th, I believe. But every tax day, it was a Tuesday, I believe it was the 18th. I make sure I schedule something. So this past Tuesday, but this past tax day, I had a doctor's appointment and I went to go get a pedicure and a manicure, right? I purposefully schedule things on tax day. Why? Because it's a check mark for me to remind me where I used to be. Because on tax day, I used to be so stressed. I used to be up until 11:59 trying to get these people's taxes in before the deadline. You get what I'm saying? I used to be so stressed, lack of sleep, just all over the place, like a lot of you are. But I figured out a better way, and I help other people figure out that better way. So every tax day, I purposefully am out the house. I'm purposefully away from my computer. I'm purposefully, you get what I'm saying, doing other things as a reminder to me of my growth. You get what I'm saying? That keeps me motivated and keeps me moving forward and doing what I need to do. So that's the answers to that question. Again, y'all, I'm taking questions. So if you have questions, you can put it in the question bubble or the or the comments section. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the topic we're talking about. Just any question. It's a Q&A. Okay, here's the next question. How to build enough clientele to become a business owner? How to build enough clientele to become a business owner? So I guess the long question is, they want to know, how do they build up enough clientele to become a business owner? And my response is, the number of clients you have doesn't determine if you're a business owner or not. You can have 500 clients and still be self-employed. You get what I'm saying? The number of clients that you have does not determine if you are a business owner or not. Why do I say that? Because like the example I just gave, you could have 300, 500 clients and still be self-employed if you are the one preparing those taxes. Okay. Like I said, a business owner, if you are a true business owner, your tax business runs by itself. It runs and continues to generate income in your absence. You don't physically have to be there. You don't physically have to be the one doing the work in order for your business to still generate money. That is a sign of a true business owner, not the amount of clientele. So when we think business owner, think team building your team. Think implementing SOPs, which is short for standard operating procedures, which I am a heavy believer that you need a standard operating procedure for every single aspect of your tax business. Okay? The number one SOP that I would tell y'all to create is client onboarding. Because clients make your business. If you don't have clients, you don't have a business, period, point blank. Okay, period, point blank. It doesn't matter if you're the best tax preparer in the world. If you don't have clients, whose taxes are you preparing? You get what I'm saying? You're not bringing in any money. And in order to be a business, you have to be bringing in some money. Like, let's just get the basics out the way. You get what I'm saying? So, client onboarding. What do I mean by client onboarding? From the time a client is introduced to your brand, whether it's on social media, whether it's a business card, whether it's a networking event, whether it's your website, however this client is initially introduced to your brand, all the way down to them paying you and you filing their tax return. What are the steps? What is the client journey that they go through with your business in order to get from here to here? What does that look like? And it needs to be the same for every client. And it needs to be a steady procedure. Okay? It needs to be the same. That's how you dictate your income. That's how you are able to make projections and things of that nature. Everyone has to go through the same process. That's how you significantly reduce anyone falling through the cracks. Okay? If everyone goes through the same procedure, okay, then that also increases client retention. Everyone always talk about client attraction, how to get clients. Well, let's talk about how to keep clients too. And the first thing is, did they have an enjoyable experience with your business? And if you're all over the place, like, oh yeah, email me your tax documents and we'll file them. Like, you want to have a streamlined system of how they're going to get their documents to you, how you're going to treat them, the type of verbiage you'll use, the type of communication style you'll use. All of that makes a difference, because people they want to give money to a company that makes them feel good. Why is Chick-fil-A so popular? It's not because they have the best chicken sandwiches or the best chicken nuggets or it's more fresh or whatever people say. It's the customer service. Okay, they have the best customer service. To work at Chick-fil-A, it is a standard that you have to smile, that you have to say these, that you have to use this type of verbiage, that you have to use this tone. And if you don't, you're getting fired. That's not a standard at all of the fast food restaurants, but that is a standard at Chick-fil-A. Okay, that's a standard at some businesses. So why not implement that into your business? Have it be a standard. This is the procedure. This is the journey I want my clients to go through. Why? Because it makes everyone on the same team understand what's happening. If a client is here, then everyone should know where they just came from and what the next step is. No one is confused. No one is confused. Okay? And that client doesn't fall through the cracks. So client onboarding, SOP, very important. If you've never heard of it, if you've never created one, create one, join Tax Boss Academy, do something, but have one. Okay? Have one. Okay? So that's first things first. The amount of clients, it doesn't determine if you're a business owner or not. Systems and SOPs, your team building, okay? Hiring a team. And when I say a team, I don't mean like 10 people. A team can be one additional person if that's all you can budget for now until you can grow, okay? It is a process. This is a long-term situation. And social media will have you thinking that you could start a tax business from scratch in November or December and start balling out of control by the time March gets here. No, because people, I think that the taxation industry, because it's so easy to get into, that people get into it frivolously and don't treat it like an actual business. If you look at any Fortune 500 company, Amazon, Walmart, whatever, they did not create that in 30 days. They didn't. It was a process. And then even after the process, they're still tweaking stuff. They're still tweaking stuff. They're still tweaking stuff to elevate the customer, the client journey. They're still making sure they're elevating their products, their services, their customer experience. It never stops. A lot of these larger companies have client success teams, an entire department just for client satisfaction. That's how important it is. Because people, like, let's get real quick. Like, let's take it there for a second. I don't know who all is on this live or who will be watching this live, but there is a thing in our community, unfortunately, the black community, that a lot of us say, see, this is why I don't shop black. This is why I don't go to black businesses, because they don't have no customer service. They don't know how to treat people. They don't know how to woo-wop. How many times have we heard that? So we go to other businesses because they quote unquote treat us better. Well, why can't we have businesses where we treat our people good? No matter how the client acts, as a professional, you should always keep your marbles and stay in alignment with what your mission and what your business standard is. You see, one of my mottos is there's so much more to running a profitable and successful and sustainable tax business other than tax preparation. Tax preparation is like, okay, yes, we know if we have a tax prep business that we need to offer tax preparation, but that is not the only thing that you need to consider if you want a sustainable business at all. There are so many other aspects that you have to consider in order to have a sustainable business, a profitable tax business, a long-lasting tax business, okay? You have to consider all of these other aspects. Why? Because all of the successful businesses have considered all of these aspects. I'm not doing that. I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm just bringing the wheel to an industry that lacks it completely. You get what I'm saying? Y'all trying to skip steps and wondering why you don't have results. You trying to copy and paste what other people are doing, which quiet as kept, what other people are doing really isn't working. The majority of the people on social media that y'all see really isn't working, but they won't tell you that because it looks better for their business and for them, and power to them. Like, it's a lot of people out here that don't know nothing about nothing who make a lot of money because they are effervescent, you know? But you have to have the discernment to determine who you're going to listen to, who you're going to follow, who you're going to invest in to help you get to where you need to go. You have that discernment, and you make sure that you vet anyone, including me. I love, like, please vet me. All the coaches and everything that I have, I pretty much stalk them for at least a year before I give them money. And now I've been stalking this one girl for like 2 years, and now I'm finally ready to like give her these racks. I'm about to give her these racks. Like, she's about to get some racks from me, because I've been stalking her for 2 years. So I see how she moves. I see when I go to her website, I see her automations. I'm impressed with stuff like that. I see her getting results. I see her having receipts. I see her having sold out events. So now I'm ready to pay you. For sure. Because I feel like I can get the results if you coach me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all should do y'all's due diligence too. And a lot of the Tax Boss Academy members, a lot of my students come to me scorned. It's like being in a relationship with the person who just got out of a horrible relationship with their past lover. They come to you all scorned. Now they don't trust you because of their past situation. It's like, well, look, you done already gave me your money. You might as well trust me and just do what I say. But they have that hesitancy because they were scorned in the past. It's the same thing as a jilted lover. Like, my clients come to me broken because they done, went somewhere else to try to, start or grow their tax business, and it didn't work out. But I actually prefer that. I actually want other people to have other coaching before they come to me, so by the time they come to me, they're like, oh, this is paradise. This is where I should have been. Like, so they'll have something to compare it to. Because if you start here at the highest point, you don't have nothing to compare it to. So now this is your standard until you go somewhere else and be like, oh, I'm in the slums. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am in the slums over here. Whatever, I stand by what I say. But, so that's my answer to that question. Let me make sure I answered that question properly. Yes, the second part to that question is how much knowledge should we be to move from how knowledge should we be to move from tax prepare? How knowledgeable? So I'm thinking that should be knowledgeable. How knowledgeable should we be to move from tax preparer to business owner? How knowledgeable should we be to move from tax preparer to tax business owner? So I'm going to answer this in two ways because I'm not sure the knowledge you're asking about. But if you're talking about tax preparation knowledge, then it doesn't matter how much tax preparation knowledge you have. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're a business owner again. I don't want to get redundant, but you can know the IRC, which is the Internal Revenue Code. You can know all the latest tax laws. You can know how to do and prepare robust tax returns. And you can have all the tax prep knowledge in the world. That doesn't make you a business owner, because like I said, approaching your business with the CEO mindset is a different skill set than preparing taxes. So just because you have knowledge in tax prep doesn't transition you into a business owner. The knowledge that you want to adopt, though, is what do CEOs do? You can just Google, what do CEOs do? What's a CEO job description? How does a CEO think? You get what I'm saying? What do successful CEOs do? What are the decision making that CEOs make? Just to try to get a glimpse at what that looks like and get that mindset shift. Actually, now that I think about it, in April, so last month, if you're on my email list, you have access the entire month of April. My email list, because I have themes for each month, because I'm a nerd and, whatever. Judge your mama, don't judge me, right? But I have themes for my email list, right? And so April's theme was approaching your tax business with a CEO mindset, right? And so every day in April, well, Monday through Friday, I think I took the weekends off, but Monday through Friday, my email list got an email on approaching your tax business from a CEO mindset in different aspects the entire month of April. So if you are on my email list, type into look for my emails. It'll be from info@mindyourtaxbusiness.com, info@mindyourtaxbusiness.com, and look at my April emails, right? Look at my April emails and just read them, because I'm giving you the game right there in April, right? If you're not on my email list, then I have a freebie currently in my bio link. Click my bio link, download the freebie, then you'll be on but you still wouldn't have the April list. So if you're new to my list, DM me and we can get those emails to you. So we'll say that, because yeah, even if you're new, it's not like you'll have the old emails. So, but if you're currently on there, look at my April emails and you'll be able to access that. But the knowledge that you want as a business owner is, what is a business owner? What's the mindset of a business owner? You can Google that stuff. I did, because I didn't know. When my tax business years ago hit a plateau and I didn't know what to do to grow my business, to grow my clientele, to grow my bank account, I really started to listen to these millionaires and billionaires, the Oprahs and the, of the world or whatnot. And they all talked about mindset, and they all talked about planning, and they all talked about this, that, and the third. So then I started to really listen to those things. Okay, what's a mindset shift? How do I need to think in order to be? Because if you want more, you have to become more. And that's one thing that I 100% believe. I believe that each and every one of you, including myself, we are all doing 100% of what we can, being who we are right now. And if we want to do more, then we have to become more. That's the only way. Because if you become more, then what you're trying to accomplish isn't so far away. It's just a part of who you are. It's just a part of who you are. So you're not doing anything that's extra because this is how you roll. This is what you do. This is who you are, because this is who you've become. You get what I'm saying? So if you want more, become more. Where we at? Okay. Last question, unless y'all have any questions in the chat, definitely put questions in the chat. I'm answering all questions. This last question, the individual wanted to know, wanted to know about startup. Okay. They just wanted to know how to start up their business, right? Like, what does that look like? How to start up their business. And when I specialized in startups, okay? And so when we talk startup, because let me tell you the difference, and let me tell y'all, let me draw this difference from you all. If you ever hear a tax guru out here telling you to start with getting software and clients, run away the opposite way, because that's how you start to become a preparer. If you want to just be self-employed and prepare taxes for someone else or whatnot, then get software and try to get clients and become self-employed and become a preparer. But if we're talking about a business owner, then before you even get to anything related to taxes, you actually have to be a business. Let me take a sip of water. You actually have to become a business in order to be a business owner. So when we're talking startup, we start from the very beginning, from the very bottom. First, name your tax business. Boom. How about that? Name your tax business. Okay. And I'll even share with you all, when I'm coming up with the name for my companies, this is, and you might want to, either save this video or get a pen or pad or whatnot, because I'm really about to give y'all some game right now. But this is what I do when I am naming a business. So I come up with the name, of course, and then I look on my state's website, my authority state website. So I'm in the state of Georgia. The authority that is over companies where I would go to get an LLC or a corporation is the Secretary of State, the Georgia Secretary of State. In most states, it's the Secretary of State. In your state, it might be the Department of Revenue, or it might be like the Department of Corporations. It just figure out what and I see your question. I'm gonna get to it after I answer this question, Renty. I see you, and I'm gonna answer it. So just figure out what your authority is. Once you figure out what that authority is, then you go there. Like I said, I would go to the Georgia Secretary of State. I would do a corporation search. So let's say Mind Your Tax Business. That's the name of one of my companies, Mind Your Tax Business, right? Came up with that name, looked on Georgia Secretary of State, did a corporations search, typed in the name, see if it's available in the state of Georgia. If it's available in the state of Georgia, then I'll Google it. Now I want to see worldwide, does anyone have this name? If I don't see anyone with the name or something similar, then I'll go to GoDaddy, which is where I go for my domain name to see if the domain is available. Sometimes the domain is available, sometimes not, but I just want to see if someone has the domain. Then I go to social media handles. If I like it enough, like, are the social media handles available? Okay. And then if I like it a lot, I go to the USPTO.gov website, which is the United States Patent and Trademark Office, and I search it to see if anyone has it trademarked, because I could have passed all of those tests, but if it's trademarked, then it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. And if I like it enough, then I'll go ahead and trademark it. Like Mind Your Tax Business is trademarked. Tax Boss Academy is trademarked. And I'm currently right now, I'm not going to tell you which one, but I'm having my attorneys write a letter assisting deceased to someone in a different state who's using, I'm not going to tell you which one of those names, but they're using that name. They actually have an LLC in that name. They actually have the domain in that name, and they have the social media handle in that name, actually. But I own the trademark, and that trumps all of that. Why am I telling you all to go through all of this? Because you do not want to build a brand on a name that someone else owns. When this person receives the cease and desist letter from me, if they do not, they build a whole brand around it. Now you got to change your name. You got to change all your marketing tools. You got to change your website. You got to change your business cards. You got to change your handle. You have to change all of this stuff because you didn't go through the proper protocol to see if someone trademarked this name. I don't want you all to have to go through that. You get what I'm saying? So like, check, maybe you check with the trademark first, so just make sure you hit all of those points. Everything that I said for you all, to make sure that name is available. You don't want to get sued, and you definitely don't want to build a business on a name that someone else owns. Like, oh my gosh, you talking about wasted money, right? So number one, when we're talking about starting your tax business, name your tax business. Once you name your tax business, now you can go into entity formation. What do I mean by entity formation? I mean creating an LLC, which is short for limited liability company, creating a corporation or a partnership, a legal business entity. Being a sole proprietor is not a legal business entity. That is mediocrity at its finest. And if you want to be over here with me, we do not do mediocrity. I do not do it. Even though mediocre means average, we don't do nothing average over here. When's the last time you saw an average billionaire or a millionaire? Get out of here. We're not doing that. So anyway, like, become a legal business entity. In order to become a legal business entity, you have to have a name, right? Once you become a legal business entity, the third step is to obtain your EIN, which stands for Employer Identification Number. An EIN identifies your company. I see your question. I'm going to answer it once I finish answering this question. Once you get your EIN, excuse me, Well, I was saying what an EIN is. An EIN identifies your business. So like we all had, like a social security number identifies an individual, an EIN identifies a company. There are no two alike EINs, just like there are no two alike social security numbers, okay? You need an EIN to identify your company. You can go to the irs.gov website, get it for free. Step number 4, open a business bank account. A business bank account, meaning once you get a legal business entity, your bank account is in your company's name. Not a bank account that's in your name that you use for business purposes. No, you want a business bank account. What do you need to open a business bank account? You need your EIN and you need your articles of organization if you have an LLC, or your articles of incorporation if you have a corporation, okay? And then, depending on the bank, they might have their own application or whatnot, but you definitely need those 2 things. Why do you need a business bank account? Because you as the individual and your company are 2 different entities, okay? Are 2 different entities. And you don't want to get in the habit of commingling your funds. Commingle is just a fancy word of mixing. You don't want to mix your personal funds and your business funds, because that's not how business people get down. You get what I'm saying? You want to start these great business practices from the beginning. So by the time you blow up, it won't be new to you. You want to start it from ground zero. That's how I teach. We're going to start this thing how we want to finish it. You get what I'm saying? And this is what you have to set yourself up for success. Okay. Step number 5, obtain your P10, your preparer's tax identification number. A P10 identifies a tax professional. So when you go to prepare a tax return, back in the day, back in my day, we had to put our social on the tax return, which wasn't the safest. So now they created a P10 that identifies a tax professional, and you put your P10 on the tax return that you prepare. That's how they're able to identify who prepared this tax return. So you want to get your preparer's tax identification number. Step number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is you want to go to the irs.gov website to create an e-services account. You want to create an e-services account. It's free to create an e-services account, but if you want to do any business with the Internal Revenue Service, you have to have this account, because this is how you conduct business with the IRS electronically. Once you establish an e-services account, you want to become an authorized e-file provider, aka apply for your EFIN. Your employer file your electronic filing identification number, your EFIN, EFIN. And what an EFIN does is allow you to be an independent tax preparer. Okay, an independent tax preparer, meaning you don't have to be underneath anyone else's umbrella. You can electronically file. It means that you have been approved by the Internal Revenue Service as an authorized e-file provider to e-file tax returns directly from your office to the IRS, no middleman. This is what you need to be 100% independent, firm. And that's exactly what you want, okay? And then, of course, I always throw in, you want to identify your state's requirements, okay? Your state's requirements for becoming a legal tax professional. The federal requirements, and when I say federal, I'm referring to the Internal Revenue Service, are pretty basic. Like the requirements to become a legal tax professional federally are like basic. It's like you have to be of age and you have to have your P10. Like that's it. Like, okay, like you have to have your P10 and you have to be of age, and that's pretty much it to be a legal tax professional. And they define a legal tax professional as if you want to receive compensation for tax prep services, then you have to have your P10. That means if you get caught preparing taxes and you don't have your P10 and people are paying you, you are not a legal tax professional. That's all that means, okay? It's being able to be paid or compensated for tax prep services. So that's what I mean by a legal tax professional, okay? You don't need your EFIN to be a legal tax professional. You just need your P10 to be of age in the IRS eyes. States, most of the states mimic federal. Like the state of Georgia, I'm in Georgia. We mimic federal. You just need your P10, you outside, okay? But some states, like California, you have to take and pass a test, a standardized test, in addition to having your P10 in order to be a legal tax professional in the state of California. So you want to make sure that you understand your state's requirements in that aspect, so you can be a legal tax professional. We're not taking no penitentiary chances over no stuff that we could have handled, okay? And then, of course, I would be remiss if I didn't add in to create your business plan, okay? Because when we're talking about starting up a company, like, what's the plan? Okay, where are you going? How are you going to get clients? How are you going to make money? Where's the trajectory of your tax business going? Like, what's the ultimate goal? Like, what is the goal? Where are we going? You get what I'm saying? You have to have a business plan. It doesn't have to be a super crazy document, 34-page document or whatnot. If you at least create like an outline or something, but just something on paper or on a Word doc, Google Doc, something that just where you have sat down intentionally and thought about, where do I want to take my tax business? Where am I going? What is the goal? You get what I'm saying? So those things are startup. Those things are startup. We ain't even got the tax preparation, client. We ain't got to none of that. All of this is about starting your business. So when someone starts talking to you about starting your tax business and they're not talking about the actual business side of it, it's a no-go. They're talking about self-employment at best. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But if your goal is to be a business owner, then you have to have these things in order. Okay? So let's go through these questions. Okay. The question might be a little off topic, but does your course require you to become an enrolled agent, assuming that the criteria has been met to be a tax preparer? No. So what I teach, and my superpower is I develop people into business owners, not a tax preparer. Okay, so if you want to become a super tax preparer, then I'm not the one for you. There are other aspects or programs that you can go to that will teach you how to prepare taxes. If you join Tax Boss Academy, you'll have access to tax training. Okay, but what I do is I teach you how to become a business owner. Okay, and run your business and start, build, and scale a profitable tax business, okay? To approach your business from a CEO mindset and not be a worker bee in your business. That's my superpower, is to teach people how to become an actual business owner and learn the business side of it, not to teach you how to prepare taxes, right? But you will have access to tax preparation training if you join Tax Boss Academy, but you come over here to learn how to become a business owner. So to answer your question, no, you don't have to be an enrolled agent. You don't even have to have past experience. Can they continue to use their business if they have prior use of the business name? Can they continue to use their business name if they have prior use of the business name? I'm presuming, and if in Hayden Singleton, if you are still on here, if you're still on here, you can tell me if I understand your question correctly. But I think you're referring to when I was talking about trademark, and I don't think so, because when you get something trademarked, the USPTO team, the government has a whole team, and they have an attorney that they put on it to make sure, like, they don't approve your trademark unless it's free and clear. So if they find someone that has, yeah, you are talking about trademark. Okay. So I would think if they found someone who is using the trademark actively, not even just have, but if they're using it actively, then they'll come back and say this name is already taken. You can't use it. That's why they say before you spend money to kind of do research yourself or hire someone to do that research to see if that name is taken. So in my mind, no, they wouldn't be able to, because if you get a trademark, then they found that this name is free and clear. So I would say no. Do y'all have any other questions for me? Let me make sure I'm not missing any questions. Each and every Thursday, we are right here at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on IG for Tax Boss Talk. For Tax Boss Talk Thursdays. So if y'all have questions in the meantime, you can always DM me. Definitely click the link in my bio to see what's going on, my latest and greatest. If you're interested in joining my new membership, Mind Your Tax Biz membership, you can definitely do that. That's the link in my bio. If you have questions about any of my services or products, DM me, because I personally respond to my DMs. And if you're ready to start, build, or scale a profitable tax business, I am the tax business coach for you, period. So if I don't have any other questions, guys, I will see y'all next Thursday if I don't show up on a live before then. In the meantime, in between time, if y'all have questions, DM me, and I will see y'all later. Peace.